People aren't just using Google anymore. There's Perplexity, there's ChatGPT. The phones are even coming out with their own solutions. So how can you get your business to show up in all of these new special search tools? That's what we're going to talk about today. Also in this episode, I'm going to share a digital marketing tool recommendation and then follow that up with suggestions for other podcasts of mine, other episodes of mine that are related to today's episode, and also of others podcasts that I've enjoyed recently, both in business and personally. You're listening to the Small Business Sweet Spot. I'm Barb Davids, a website marketing consultant and SEO strategist who helps business owners like you gain more traffic to your website with the simplest actions possible. Every week, tune in for tips, tactics, and small business owner wisdom that will help us grow in business and life. So the good news is, showing up in these new platforms isn't much different than what's considered traditional SEO. And as of today, and this comes with that splat or that asterisk disclaimer that I walk around with because the information I'm about to tell you can become outdated at any moment. However, you don't need separate strategies for traditional SEO and AI SEO. What you need is this: high quality, authoritative content, meaning your content can be trusted. Clear structure and organization of your pages, like headings and subheadings that are easily readable. Regular updates and maintenance, so you keep your content fresh and up to date and make sure that your site is free of errors. And lastly, strong expertise signals. Things like website street cred in the form of mentions from other websites and links from other websites to your website. Now that said, there is one thing that I think is slightly different. In traditional SEO, it is recommended to target one topic per page because traditionally Google is serving up a single page, not a whole website. What's different with AI search engines is that because they synthesize a bunch of pages together to form the response, it's best to include possible tangents to a topic if you think your reader is going to ask it after they get their first question answered. And now that I've said that, it reminds me that even though this is like traditional SEO, because it was a tactic for creating content, so you would include things like people also asked in your blog posts, it's very similar to that, but maybe not so specific from people also asked. Maybe it's more logical. So you have one topic that you would normally spread across 3 pages or 3 blog posts. Instead, now it might be a good idea to just create one longer blog post. Brief side note here. If your SEO feels overwhelming and like a whole different language and you want more traffic and leads, then my SEO Power Up plan is for you. It's a service designed to show you the traffic you're missing out on and how that missed traffic translates to sales. You'll get a clear look at what's working, what's not, and where you can focus for better SEO results. Head to the link in the show notes to get your SEO Power Up plan. All right, let's jump back to the episode. Other things remain the same, however. Different engines are going to show different results. Many of them are based, like Google is, on personalized results, your browsing history, sometimes your location, and some engines also allow you to customize your results. Now, let's talk about tracking. How can we see if we're getting traffic from these newfangled search engines? One way is with an SEO tool. There are some claiming to be able to tell you if you show up in AI search results. One of them is actually free. It's from Ahrefs. So go to ahrefs.com/webmaster-tools. However, I went to search for me and I couldn't validate that this is actually correct. It said I have 7 keywords showing up in results that come up in AI search engines. But when I went to type them into a couple of those engines, I never saw my website. So take that with a grain of salt or whatever, pepper, however you want to take it. But I do have it set up in my Google Analytics as a segment and as a channel grouping so that I can see the traffic there and what page they landed on. So 2 Octobers, a company that I follow, had a post about how to set this up. I'll put the link for that and the Ahrefs in the supporting blog post to this episode in case you're interested into looking into that further. And HubSpot has this thing called an AI search grader. Quote, Uncover your brand visibility in generative AI search tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity. Identify strengths and pinpoint opportunities to boost brand awareness and sentiment. Unquote. I did try it. I didn't find this very useful for me at all, but you might, so it's there for you, in case you want it. One thing I urge you to remember is don't get caught up in the hype of new SEO strategies. Focus on diversifying your marketing efforts and creating truly valuable content. That's what works for all search engines, traditional or AI-powered, and more importantly, your audience, which is really what matters. Please do check the supporting blog post for this episode. I'll have links to things mentioned in this episode, plus links that are related, like how to set your content apart from AI-generated content, and also another one around repurposing, so you're making the best use of your time. All right, let's get into the digital marketing tool recommendation. This week, it's called Through, Truuu. This tool automates a very manual process of analyzing the results in the Google search results pages. You can see at a glance all of the page titles, how many headings they have, images, and a bunch of other stuff. So try the free version if you're interested and let me know what you think. And this week I have 4 other episodes if you are interested. A couple of them. One is an earlier one of mine, number 15. It's called Do You Really Need an SEO Tool to Show Up in Google? There's another one that is by a podcast called More Than a Few Words. It's episode number 1068. I went through a framework to get found in Google. It's a 5-step framework. And then also Emily Aborn from Content with Character. She had an episode called Just Say No to Bro Marketing. And I really enjoyed the perspective on doing kind marketing. So I would give that one a listen. And another one I recommend is a little bit more on the personal side. It is from Michelle Chaffant Show. I'm not sure if I said that right, her last name, but it's episode number 444 with Catherine Plano. It was around how to explore our own growth by looking at our own patterns in life. And Catherine Plano has a book that I ended up purchasing right away just because I was so moved by that episode. And that wraps up today's episode. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss episodes like this one that'll help your business thrive online. You can find all the links to connect with me, Barb Davids, in the show notes. And if you love the episode, please pay it forward by sharing it with a friend or writing me a review. I'll see you in the sweet spot.